Welcome back to Shades of Green Radio Show on KDWN 720 AM in Las Vegas. Our show is produced by Green Alliance in Nevada, and I'm your host, Stan Hannell, filling in for Paul Ira. This is our last show of the year, and we're pleased to have Marie Steele with us from NV Energy. If listeners have questions for our guests, the call-in number at KDWN 720 AM is 702-257-5396. That's 702 AM from NV Energy, but to cover making home power and helping power our cars and our transportation. But NV Energy also has a PowerShift program for making your homes more efficient before you even start thinking about generating your own power. How can you make your home not use as much power?
Right. What does they say? The cleanest KWH is the one that we never use.
Yeah, kilowatt hours.
Right, there you go. So PowerShift, which is our energy efficiency and demand response program, is our very long-standing conservation program, and it is to help customers better understand their usage, and then such that they can reduce it as well. And there's different programs inside of our PowerShift program to help you do that. And I think I'll go back to definitely reminding everyone, the best way to learn about how your energy usage is a stronger relationship with your utility. So if you don't have your My Account account, sign up for it, and learning more about through nvenergy.com is definitely important.
That's great, and we were talking about that in the first segment. You set up MyAccount, your My Account, and then that's an app that's on your cell phone, and you can actually monitor your usage in real time from your home.
Well, I think that's what's been so powerful about technology is you can see it in your phone, and there's whether it's products from the utility or not, people can learn how much they're using to reduce it. And smart homes and smart cities, it's all coming together so people better understand.
Yeah, we talked a little bit on previous shows. It's that interconnection now with your home and the community.
Yeah.
And,
know what your refrigerator's doing? I mean,
right.
It's crazy.
I love that it's an app, because people will do an app, right?
Yeah, people will
do an app as long as it's easy.
Yeah.
So I love that.
But the number one thing, with PowerShift to start with is to understand what your usage is. So whether you're on your app and understanding from a disaggregation level where your power usage is, but we do have a free energy audit. So we'll come out to your home and better help you understand, what your HVAC is and where your power hogs are and where you can make changes to help you reduce your bill, because we know, we live in the desert here. It's hard.
Yeah. Summers are our most expensive time.
We want to be comfortable, but we live in the desert. So,
Sure.
Another thing with a tool that's not necessarily in PowerShift that people should understand is that there's a levelized bill account. So if you're paying the same bill every single month, helps you, kind of not feel the burn in the summer when you're increasing your usage. And I think that's, people struggle with why is their bill higher in the summer, and it's because you're using more.
You have to, sometimes 2 to 3 times as much to keep those
Right.
air conditioning systems going. Yeah, that's something. Also, I noticed on my bill when I get it, I have a little bar graph that lets me compare monthly usage over the last year, actually. So that's really helpful for me, is how am I doing this? Kind of keep score. Okay,
Right.
I know I'm trying to be efficient in here. How did I actually do? And so you see that result when you get your bill each year.
It's been interesting to see the gamification of that, whether it's our products or others. It's, whether people like where you're saying how you're doing compared to your neighbor or not. Some people love it and some people
Only
don't.
when they're doing better. They like it when they're doing better. They grumble when they're not.
But it helps people understand, and I think that's a really good thing. But, another one that one of our most popular and successful projects is also the smart thermostat. And so it ticks down your air conditioning. You can engage in events throughout the year and reap savings from it.
That's great. So you program your thermostat to set a certain temperature at a certain time and maximize your need for it.
Right. And such, if there's a moment throughout the year that, we're at a peak demand, and we release an event such that we can lower our energy usage through whether you're at home or not, and it just ticks down your thermostat 2 or 3 degrees, and
helps you save money.
Helps you save money, but also helps Nevada.
Right.
And so if we can actually reduce our consumption at that point, we actually don't have to go to the market. So you're actually a player in this much bigger program that you don't really understand that it's hugely successful for the state. It's also a leader in the country for what type of a program it is, and the megawatts that we can save from it. Right. So it's not just people want to be a part of something bigger as well and also reap benefits individually, it's a fantastic program.
Yeah, so instead of having to build a new power plant, this becomes, any savings like that is like a virtual power plant that you're creating.
Right, so it's, demand response is now an aggregated resource, and we'll see a lot of that more in our distributed resources. We can even make EVs an aggregated resource together. So when you see all of these, suddenly power sources are going to be everywhere. And, if you can, with technology, and we make them integrated together and connected, everything becomes this integrated resource that you can control, and it's, the energy sphere is, the next 5 years is going to be pretty crazy to watch.
It's
exciting.
It still needs to be reliable enough where we know when we throw a switch or plug into the wall, we've got that power there uninterrupted. So that's going to be the challenge of integrating all that together.
Well, I think that's the beauty of, NV Energy. I'll tout our reliability and our transmission and distribution service is absolutely fantastic, and we have absolutely no intent on on changing that. And that's why we love working with industry and groups like this, is we understand how we're going to integrate these new technologies while maintaining the same level of service is paramount.
And more choices for consumers, too. I think that's what comes out of all this technology. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, I love the fact that the future grid is actually coming. It's now. Remember, we've been talking about the future grid and what it's going to look like when you start integrating all these technologies. But it's literally here. It's starting to happen, and it's fun to see. So kudos to NV Energy for doing this.
Yeah, I think we're embracing it, and it's, why not?
It's a challenge. Yeah, it's a challenge to balance everybody and keep everybody happy. And you have 1.2 million customers. That's pretty amazing that you're able to keep the folks in compared to other states like California. Our energy in the state is relatively cheap. 12 cents a kilowatt hour.
11 point. I think. Gosh, I'll misquote myself. I think we said last week we're 45% cheaper than California.
Wow.
So we take incredible pride in being able to just deploy these creative programs, keep top decile reliability while also having incredibly low rates. And I think we get to do that with being, having the 1.2 million customers and the relationships that we do, and we're all doing this together. I think it's pretty unique in Nevada when I get to talk with my other peers at investor-owned utilities.
That's great. Thank you. I know there's been some bumps in the road over the last couple of years regarding rooftop solar and other things, but it's good to see all parties engaged. I think the governor pulled together the new energy industry task force last year that I think brought all the stakeholders together to talk and to keep the communication lines open and find a way forward. And now we have this energy choice initiative coming up next year that was voted on a year ago, passed about 72 to 28%, I think. And so as an initiative process, voters are coming to the polls again in November to vote on it a second time to ratify their choice. So I think hopefully over this next year, a lot of the outcomes of energy choice to actually change the state constitution to provide more energy sources, the plus and minus benefits of that will be talked about more openly, and people will have more chance to discussion and really understand it before they go into the voting place. So hopefully next year we'll be doing more of that.
Yeah, we definitely plan on it, and we look forward to and we appreciate all of our relationships such as this that provide that objective education and outreach to our consumers. From our perspective, we want to make sure everybody understands what it means, and without it being defined, it's tough to explain it truly. But I think just hitting on it is people understanding the engagement that we have with our customers now, and that our prices are low, your reliability is high. Let's understand what we're walking into together, if that's where it goes. And
you were telling me that during the legislative session last year, they formed a energy choice task force, and now that's working under the Public Utilities Commission, you were saying, to help.
Yeah, so the governor created an energy choice committee, and I'll admittedly probably list out 4 words on the name of the committee. But there is now an open investigatory docket with the commission, and the first comments were due about a week ago, and so they're working through that. I believe the first workshops are in January. You can go to the Public Utilities Commission website. There's a tab on dockets that you can then go to investigatory and rulemaking on the left, and find whether it's the documents and or the process. So it's open to the public, and I think the more that people can understand and read those documents and truly get educated, and that's going to be the number one key of next year, is truly understanding, because to make it sound simple is a bit naive.
Right. There's a lot of regulatory jargon that's overhead and is sometimes hard to wade through. Usually the docket has a number after it, and by tracking that number through the website, you can get all the related documents and arguments and hearing dates. So we'll probably bring that up in our radio show next year.
We can definitely talk about it in 2018, and I'll come with a lot more material, and because we're very passionate about making sure our customers know how much we care about them and making sure they're engaged and educated in this process.
That'll be great.
Thank you very much, Marie. Marie Steele from MV Energy. We'll be right back after this commercial break, and thank you very much.